Tiaras, sapphires, and diamonds. King Charles's first state visit marks a new era for the whole royal family. To honor this event, the royals decked out in their most exquisite jewels for the night. Not only that, some of them also took it as a great opportunity to honor Queen Elizabeth's memory. Kate Middleton and Queen Camilla wore the pieces that once belonged to Queen Elizabeth. Keep watching to find out more. First up, let's take a closer look at Kate Middleton's choice of jewels. The new Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, entered a new era today as she attended her first banquet with her new title. The former Duchess chose Queen Mary's lover's knot tiara, a tiara she hasn't shied away from wearing plenty of times before. Along with the diamond and pearl tiara, the princess also wore a white Jenny Packham dress and a pearl bracelet originally belonged to Queen Elizabeth. Princess Diana too was a fan of the Queen Mary's lover's knot tiara, which has now become Kate's go-to accessory for official events. She's worn it 9 times total. In December 2015, she wore it for the first time to Queen Elizabeth's yearly diplomatic reception at Buckingham Palace. The following year, she picked it again for the same occasion, and she wore it once more in 2017 for the state banquet for the King and Queen of Spain. The last time Kate was seen wearing it was for the diplomatic reception in December 2019. Next up, let's look at the history behind Kate's favorite tiara. The diadem, one of Diana's most recognizable possessions, clearly is of emotional value for the newly crowned Princess of Wales, but it also has a fascinating royal past. The topper, sometimes known as the Cambridge Lover's Knot, is actually a copy of an earlier tiara. The Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara served, which is the real inspiration for the tiara, was created for Queen Mary at the beginning of the 20th century, in 1914. Made by the House of Gerard using pearls and diamonds that belonged to her ancestors, Mary took inspiration from the tiara worn by her grandmother Princess Augusta of Hesse, which is assumed to be part of an unidentified private collection. The court jeweler claims that Queen Mary ordered the piece when she was sacrificed a tiara from her own jewelry collection, the Ladies of England tiara, to make it. Moving on to Diana and Kate's shared love for this tiara. Queen Mary's granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth II, received the throne after her death in 1953, before switching to other accessories like the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, which has since become one of her favorites. The Queen wore the tiara on multiple occasions in the 1950s. Princess Diana reportedly received the Lover's Knot tiara as a wedding gift from the Queen in 1981. Diana chose to wear the Spencer tiara, a family heirloom, instead on her special day. But despite the Lover's Knot being so heavy that it injured her head, it quickly became one of her favorite accessories. The tiara wasn't publicly seen after Diana's passing in 1997 until Kate wore it to great acclaim at a reception at Buckingham Palace in 2015. Kate had previously borrowed the tiara from Queen Elizabeth, but it's thought that since the late Queen's jewelry collection was given to King Charles, Kate now borrows it from him. She shares the same love for the tiara as did Diana. Moving on, what else did Kate wear? Kate also donned a bracelet from Queen Elizabeth's jewelry collection in addition to earrings that once belonged to Princess Diana and that she most recently wore for the Remembrance Sunday service. She finished off her appearance with the Dame Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order star and sash in addition to the Royal Family Order. The most recent time Kate wore a tiara was in December 2019 at the Diplomatic Corps Banquet, a yearly gathering of 1,000 guests that included ambassadors, high commissioners, and government officials. She accessorized for the occasion with the Lover's Knot tiara, the Nizam of Hyderabad necklace, and a navy velvet gown with long sleeves by Alexander McQueen, who was also the designer of her royal wedding gown. Now, let's talk about Camilla's look and pics from the late Queen's jewels. Queen Camilla assisted in hosting South African President Cyril Ramaphosa during the British royal family's first state visit of King Charles's reign. For this occasion, the Queen consort chose to wear the Belgian sapphire tiara. It was her first time wearing the tiara since King Charles III took the throne. She stunned in the tiara that was once owned by the late Queen Elizabeth II, who wore it on official visits from China to the UK in 2015 and to Singapore in 1989. Queen Camilla looked magnificent in a lace evening gown by Bruce Oldfield and royal regalia, including the Blue Order of the Garter sash, as well as the Dame Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order star and sash. She continued to wear royal blue as she had earlier in the day. She added the matching necklace and bracelet to the Belgian sapphire tiara to her accessories. Even though Camilla chose not to wear the designated earrings with the tiara, the whole set together is known as the King George VI Victorian Suite. The tiara, necklace, and earrings were given to then Princess Elizabeth by King George in 1947 as a wedding gift. The bracelet was added to the suite in the 1960s, but the diamonds are said to have been made around the middle of the 1800s. Coming up, Camilla's taste in jewels versus that of Kate. The Queen consort chose to wear a piece for the first time this evening, in contrast to Kate, who chose to wear a tiara she had worn before. Along with her sapphire and diamond tiara, she also chose to wear a necklace and bracelet set. The late Queen Elizabeth frequently wore the ensemble as seen in different photographs. Kate Middleton wore her go-to Queen Mary's lover's knot tiara. However, historically, the Queen Consort has bolder taste in tiaras. Camilla has opted for the bigger Delhi Durbar and Greville tiara at state dinners, while the Princess of Wales has worn the Queen Mary's lover's knot and lotus flower in the past. More on the King's state banquet. Many others attended the banquet, including Prince Edward, Sophie, Countess of Wessex, the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, the Duke and Duchess of Kent, Lady Susan Hussey, and Annabel Whitehead, a previous lady-in-waiting to Queen Elizabeth. Grilled brill with wild mushrooms and truffles and sorrel sauce, and ballotine of Windsor pheasant packed with artichokes, quince compote, and a port sauce were on the menu for the banquet's meal in the palace ballroom. Dessert was an iced vanilla parfait with caramelized apples for the guests. At the meal, Queen Camilla and Prince William were on either side of South Africa's Foreign Minister, Naledi Pandor, who was seated between King Charles and Kate. In a video posted to the royal family's Twitter feed, King Charles and Queen Camilla examined the table as finishing touches were made before guests arrived. Over 100 ivory-colored candles in silver gilt candelabra, displays of seasonal fruit, and 23 floral arrangements in silver gilt centerpieces, many of which King George IV bought in the 19th century, are used to decorate the table. The floral arrangements were made with seasonal flowers from the gardens of Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace. At a state dinner, more than 1,000 glasses are utilized. Each visitor receives 6 glasses, plus an additional champagne glass for toasts. Up next, everyone wants to know what Camilla is going to wear at her husband's coronation. Isn't it surprising to know that the British royal family hasn't worn a tiara in almost 3 years? The British royal family is hosting the South African state visit for the first time since former U.S. President Donald Trump visited the UK in 2019. These delays have been happening due to the pandemic going on since 2019. Everyone is excited to find out what crown Camilla would put on for her husband's coronation this spring, which is still a mystery. The Queen Consort will be crowned on May 6, 2023, alongside King Charles, according to a prior statement from Buckingham Palace. Let's try and guess. The obvious option would be the crown created for the 1937 coronation of Charles's great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, the last Queen Consort, which features the contentious Koh-i-Noor diamond as its focal point. Finally, let's talk about the history of the Koh-i-Noor. The then East India Company first bought the 105.6-carat rock, and as events turned out, it was transported to Britain and eventually became part of Queen Victoria's collection. There are increasing calls for the spectacular diamond's return in India, while Pakistan and Afghanistan also claim ownership of the Koh-i-Noor. There's been a long-standing sentiment of the Middle Eastern countries in wanting to claim the diamond back. King Charles and Queen Camilla may be able to remove the contentious jewel entirely because it's completely detachable, much like the velvet cap that is often worn for the coronation service. It's also feasible that they'll choose an entirely new crown. That's all for this video, folks. Tell us your thoughts on Kate and Camilla's picks of the late Queen's jewels in the comments down below. And remember, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.